HQC 2025. I'm here with one of my favorite Toyotas of all time. You guys know how much I love minivans. They're right up there with wagons. And I just got done racing around the track, the GR Corolla, the GR86. But honestly, as a family man, this is a vehicle that pulls at my heartstrings nowadays. This is a special Woodland Sienna. I've never driven this. I hardly ever see them where I live in South Florida. Maybe they don't send that many, right? Because they're all-wheel drive, I think, standard. But this is the 2025 refresh Sienna. There are some updates to it, mainly on the inside. And we do have these, I believe these are 18-inch wheels. Let me double check. Yeah, 18-inch wheels, blacked out with this, I think this color is called Cypress with the roof racks. This is probably the coolest Sienna I've seen, and it has a lift kit on it from the factory. It's not much, it's like a ½ inch or something. It's pretty small. But as we come around to the back, it also has a 1 1/4 inch receiver, so you could put bikes on the back of this thing. You got, you know, that blue Toyota hybrid logo here, still XLE, which this must be based off of the Woodland is based off of the XLE model, and then hybrid HEV all-wheel drive standard here, lifting this up, automated liftgate. I do not have a 360 camera on this model. You'd probably have to go to the limited model for that, but you do have AC power output back here, which is great. USB-C's right there, pretty easy. If I just pull this one hand, oh, this one's a little bit heavier, right? It's 2 seats. All right, and Toyota's done a better job. When this van first came out, these seats never, like, you know, I feel like there were fitment issues. They seem to be better assembled now. All right, so that's good. Now you can also see we have these special Woodland mats, which I'm a big fan of. Rubber mats for a family. It's a game changer. This does have the JBL audio, the subwoofer in the hatch, which is pretty cool. One of my favorite things about the Toyota Sienna, other than its hybrid powertrain, I don't have the key on me, it's on the inside, that's why it did not open. Pretty sure anyways. But yeah, you have the kick sensor to open the doors. Again, the rubber mats, so much space in here. Oh, I love minivans. They're great. Compared to the Honda Odyssey, we got vents on top in the 3rd row and the 2nd row, which is a huge deal for hot climates. And Toyota's hybrid air conditioning is fantastic. It runs really cold. You can see more Woodland Sienna mats. I love it. Huge fan of this model. Now, this is kind of a miss here because I know in Florida or in hot climates, it gets hot here in Texas too. This is going to be, you're just going to be sweating and sticking to this. All right, watch my XSE review from a few years back. These things, since they're not perforated, they get real sticky. So I'd prefer cloth seats, honestly, over these gator skin. Is kind of what it feels like. All right, but you can also get the ventilated seats on the higher trims and whatnot. So this is new for 2025. This is a big 12-inch screen. Honestly, I'll be honest, I think it looks ugly. It definitely looks tacked on, but that's initial impressions. Over time, I would get used to it, but you can just see, like, this thing is totally, like, not designed for the interior design of this vehicle. Heated seats in here. I don't have a heated steering wheel, I don't believe. Just heated seats, no ventilated seats, obviously, because we didn't see the perforation. You have a wireless charger. You do have a lot of space underneath, but it never feels like you have that much space underneath because this is so high. It's like a big desk. And so the cup holders are great and they're near to you, but it just, it is a little bit space confining for the front passengers. I wish this somehow wasn't here. Like, Toyota, this is like, you can make this shift by wire and then open up this whole area. I mean, the Honda Odyssey has this whole open up, and I think even the Carnival is pretty open as well. So guys, USBs all over this vehicle. We need to get going, so let's go ahead and put you on the sunroof. Let's suction you up and get on the road. Now, this is also pretty old school here. You connect your phone, it's wireless if you want it to be, but you do connect your phone through a USB-A. And these cup holders up here are really small, like my Topo Chico, sorry, my Topo Chico doesn't really fit in there. But you do larger cup holders in front of that. Now, also for 2025, this 12-inch MID behind the steering wheel is, yeah, it wasn't there before. You had like a, I think you had a 7-inch screen, even on the top models, which it's okay, that 7-inch screen. I like it a lot in terms of customization, This one, this screen there's a huge learning curve, I'll just say that. But it is easier to work with here compared to the Lexus TX that has the same screen, but it has a different steering wheel integration. So like right now it is pretty frustrating because I can't pull up my fuel economy on this screen without going to, just have to stop here because it won't let me put fuel economy on the screen while I'm driving. So that's a bit frustrating. Now that I have it, let's go ahead and reset it. We'll reset it, and then we'll get back on our drive here. All right, I also like putting my hybrid energy monitor because I like having my maps up here, but I also nerd out over Toyota's hybrid energy monitor and the power flow meter. Is there anyone in here to say goodbye to? Nope, don't think so. So we're going to, oh, look at that Sienna. You know, I have a thing for minivans, guys. That looked like an XSE. All right, so back to this 12-inch screen behind here. You have to press and hold OK to start messing with it. And then once you have the screen up in the middle to customize, you just press left or right to customize the left-hand side or the right-hand side. But you got to press and hold OK first, and then start fumbling with it. And it takes time to get used to. All right, and my energy monitor is not available on the left-hand side, so I have to come to a complete stop, and because right now I have fuel economy on both sides, so we're gonna go all the way. There's my energy monitor. Let's just toggle that. Let's press back, and we're gonna go to energy monitor. There it is. So I know my battery charge and how much my electric motors are working, how much my gasoline motor is working, all that good stuff. All right, you know, under mild and medium acceleration, the Sienna is pretty smooth, very quiet. But as I go up this hill, I know the limitations of this powertrain. It's loud and it's vibey. I can feel it through the pedals. That little 4-cylinder is working hard. I have quite a bit of vibration through the steering wheel. And so this is where I'm gonna start seeing this through the lens of a minivan connoisseur, is also a luxury connoisseur. All right, you guys know how like strict I am on when I'm reviewing luxury vehicles, and I had the Honda Odyssey for 7 months. Honda gave us a long-term loaner for a 2025 Honda Odyssey. We loved that van. We liked that van for so many different reasons. All right, one of the main reasons we liked it, well, gosh, there's so many reasons. All right. The ride quality was elite. Luxury. It felt like, honestly, if you drive an Odyssey, it feels like driving a Lexus. It's super smooth, incredibly quiet. You never hear the engine, and when you do hear it, meaning your foot's down all the way, you get a nice VTEC sound. Here, you get a droney 4-cylinder, all right? And there's, you know, what are the benefits to this? Well, guys, you've seen on my channel with this powertrain, what you lose in quietness, what you lose in acceleration, you gain in fuel efficiency. In town driving, when conditions are perfect, the weather's just perfect, you don't have to run AC that much. I saw for an entire week, and I pump verified it, it was like 46 miles per gallon. I've also taken this loaded with a bunch of kids to Miami for several hours and back. I've pump verified on a Sienna, and I got 37 miles per gallon. I was going like 80, 85, and I still got 37 miles per gallon. This thing, its strength and fuel efficiency is so strong over its competitors that the demand for this is just over the top. All right, I prefer the driving dynamics and the luxury of the Odyssey. The Odyssey feels like a much better built van. It's smoother, it's quieter, it handles like a car. This handles like a boat. You know, there's better materials in the Odyssey overall. Like, I have vibration through the pedals, the steering wheel, the floor here. I don't have any of that in the Odyssey. The Odyssey is a better luxury vehicle than essentially all Acura models. Acura is a very sporty brand, right? And they do have good luxury, but not as good as the Odyssey. The Odyssey's just so good, especially in the elite trim with, you know, the double pane glass, which, Yeah, I just have single pane glass here, but this isn't the, you know, the top model. I'm trying to think, is the top model the limited or is it the platinum? I forget. Or there's just so many trim levels of this van. I think there's an LE, XLE, XLE Woodland, XSE, limited, platinum, and I'm still waiting for a plug-in hybrid version of this because that is the end game minivan. But even then, I'd still find things to complain about, like, you know, the interior being a little compromised, or maybe the screen being ugly. No car's perfect, but, and if you're racking up, here's the thing, if you're racking up tons of miles on your seat, on your vehicle, your family hauler, then the Sienna makes a ton of sense, because the fuel economy is literally double, in some cases more than double, the Honda Odyssey. All right, now I also reviewed recently the Kia Carnival Hybrid, and the Kia Carnival Hybrid comes close to fuel economy. At least I got like 35, 36 miles per gallon. Not bad. No, actually, I should say it's really good. I can't game that powertrain to be as efficient. I don't know what this semi's doing. Okay, I think he's turning, which I'm happy about. Oh, there's his blinker. I don't know how I did not see his turn indicator there, but here we go. Yeah, I don't want to go too fast uphill here because I don't want to kill my MPGs. I kind of want to like do a hyper mile. It's not a true hyper miling, but I just want to be somewhat conservative with the fuel economy here. All right, and it's a 40 mile per hour turn right here. So why exceed the, you know, the speed limit on the turn? I will anyways, but especially as going downhill. Yeah, I mean the ride quality here. This isn't a great road, like, but I feel everything in the road through the floor, and it's not great. I would say the ride quality and the suspension is equal, if not a little bit better than the Carnival, but this is nowhere close to how the Odyssey performs and handles. So just to give you an idea, like, I'm doing 78, guys, and I'm on a good interstate right now. I think this is I-35 East. I'm not getting any of that crazy road noise I was getting earlier on that terrible road. Only now it's reversed. It's like that wind noise. That wind noise, I hear it on the windows, and that's when like having dual pane windows would be really, really nice that you get on the upper grades. But honestly, like, this powertrain is really, really smooth on highways. All right, assuming you don't have massive hills where you're gonna get that droney, but most of the time, like, I am just cruising with plenty of smoothness, plenty of power, plenty of quietness from the engine. And guys, it's saying I'm getting 42.5 miles per gallon combined. All right, when I started this off, it was in like the low 30s, but like with most hybrids, the more you drive them, the more it likes to settle at a higher fuel economy. Like my old Prius, for example, you drive that thing less than 10 miles, it's probably about 45 miles per gallon. You drive it 20 miles and you're getting like 55 miles per gallon, all right? So there's this threshold where after the engine warms up, the battery warms up, this hybrid system gets so efficient. And now I'm seeing 42 miles per gallon. But let's see what it is when we get back to headquarters, when it's all said and done. Oh yeah, by the way, I'm going like 75 to 80 miles an hour here on the freeway. Let me throw this around the turn to see what it kind of feels like in the turn. My bag's gonna go flying because I haven't put it down. Yeah, it handles a million times better than my 2013 Sienna. So it's good handling. It's just nowhere close to what the Odyssey's capable of. And I would say that did feel better than what I remember the Kia Carnival. So its driving behavior and mechanics and comfort is better than the Carnival. But with their Carnival, really, oh, I just missed my turn. Hopefully that's not a bad thing. I think I'll be all right. I think I'll be okay. Anyways, the Carnival just feels so much bigger inside, and the technology is better too. Like, guys, the backup camera in here is really low resolution. Toyota doesn't have an option for like I don't think they have an option, I could be wrong. Maybe that's an option, it's something they added for 2025, is like a family cam. Cabin watch is what Toyota calls, cabin watch is what Honda calls it, and then Hyundai has their own version, which Hyundai's is really good too. It's really high resolution, but I think Honda's placement of the camera might be best. I'm trying to remember, but yeah, the Koreans have a really good cabin watch system too, and I don't think that's something Toyota has anymore. I'm getting a little rattle because this road's not great. I'm getting a little rattle from somewhere in the vehicle. It sounds like the second row, but that could be the sunshades back there. So if you have the sunshades up, they might not. That's just me guessing. I don't know exactly where that rattle's coming from, but it's there. Yeah, going over these bumps here, I'm getting, I don't know what it is rattling, but I'm getting some rattles. But yeah, it's just doesn't feel, it's definitely like mainstream, feels like a mainstream built vehicle. And these vans do get pretty pricey. So it's like the Sienna doesn't do anything that great other than fuel economy. But fuel economy is so important, and it's reliable. This powertrain is essentially bulletproof. So that's the thing. It's like you're paying for the powertrain in a pretty average minivan package. All right. I do like the kick sensors on the doors. That's one of my favorite things about the Sienna, but I can live without them. And what's really hard to live without is, you know, 36 miles per gallon as I throw this in the turns. You know, the steering's actually quite good. It's just that I feel everything coming up through the bottom of the vehicle on this road. And what's interesting is I drove this same road out here in a 4Runner, the Overtrail 4Runner, and that has off-road tires. And maybe that's why, ooh, I just nailed that bug. And maybe that's why this is kind of rough. Maybe these off-road, or these are kind of all-terrain tires on this vehicle. Maybe they're a bit rough. Maybe they're not a good tire. I have no idea. But all I know is, like, when I drove that 4Runner out here, I did not have the same sort of road noise and road discomfort. All right, we got some Longhorns up there. Hopefully the camera's picking up some. Maybe not. I don't know. There's a big head of cattle up there. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. Sienna, it's just unbeatable if fuel economy is the most important thing. Like, I know that the Carnival's there too, and Carnival is worth considering. I really like that hybrid as well. But I gotta shut it down. I feel like I'm gonna be stuck behind this first gen Avalon and this Jayco RV forever. So, all right, guys, thank you for watching. You know, I'm glad that they gave some update. Ooh, finally smooth road. Now, should I update my impressions now? Because now it feels like I'm on glass. So these tires did not get along with that road surface back there. And now I don't hear, well, a little bit on this bridge, but I have like no road discomfort and no, oh, we're hitting our brakes. No road noise at all, but now I'm not going fast. So thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. And let me know what kind of fuel economy you're getting on your Sienna if you have one. All right, have a great day, guys. Peace out.